Give me just a few more minutes, you guys. While I'm waiting to get started, if any of you have your own New Year's traditions or rituals that you would like to share, go ahead and put them in the comments. Like I would really love to hear, and I'm very interested in hearing what everyone else does. I think that that's like I think that's like the beauty of our practice is that it's unique to you and it's unique to um, your life and your family. And as I always say, the only limit is the mind, honestly, when it comes to it. Okay, I have one more place. Y'all, December is like definitely the month to be booked and busy. Oh, that's okay. Well, thank you for stopping by anyway. I completely understand. And hey, the replay is always on YouTube, so no worries. Alrighty, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey, welcome. For those of you who are all joining, go ahead and drop the pink flower in the comments. Go ahead and like this video. Show me some love today and give me some energy for sure. Um, So, for those of you who are just joining, I am Humsi LaBelle Venus, also known as Queen Leilani Kane. And tonight we are going to be talking about hoodoo rituals or just hoodoo practices that we typically do. And then I'm going to also just briefly, we shouldn't really be on here too long because, like I said, I have to get off here and watch my show. Um, but pretty much we're going to be talking about, hoodoo rituals, things that were done or that are commonly done, especially like in African American households. I know I'm going to share some of my practices that my family did. And I think that a lot of you will just pick up on things that we didn't even realize is hoodoo. We didn't even realize that these things are like a part of root work or a part of conjure. Okay. So I put together this lovely PowerPoint for you all. Um, so first thing I wanted to bring up is what is an actual ritual, right? A ritual, by definition, is an established or a prescribed procedure for a religious or other rite. One thing that I always say is to like make everything a ritual, make everything basically like a systematic, intentional practice. For me, I would even say a systematical or practical practice that brings about change, essentially, as far as like what I mean by a ritual. Okay. So why are we having this discussion? Well, first of all, it's because it is the New Year's. Okay. And I love to talk about these types of things during the different seasons, and anytime that there's a holiday done, anytime that there's a holiday coming up, I like to do rituals and I like to do work. I feel like, especially during the holidays or when we're surrounded by family or we're surrounded by loved ones, I feel like that's when our ancestors' presence is like most potent, right? They're right there with us in those moments of like celebration. And so I love to take these times to like honor the ancestors and honor the spirits that walk with us. Also, one of the reasons why we're having this discussion is because it is literally one of my many missions in life. It's a part of my purpose to help de-demonize our practices. And when I say that, my goal is to just explain how you're practicing hoodoo and you don't even know you're practicing hoodoo, okay? Or maybe you could just kind of understand exactly how these practices have impacted our culture. And I want to have this type of conversation, and I would love to bring this up is because I always see people on Facebook or just like on social media, and they're always asking like, well, can I have a spell for this, or what kind of spell can you do for this? And these are just really simple ways to integrate life-changing practices just in your everyday life without you even being, super elaborate. Now, what I will say, of course, the best priests or the best priestesses, they are led by God and the ancestors and the spirits that walk with them. So, of course, we always create our own workings, but these are some really general known practices that you all can do as well. And I'm pretty sure most of you already do them anyway, okay? This was actually a download that came to me via my ancestors. And they told me one day that hoodoo is for the culture and by the culture. And I definitely stand on that. So that's one of the reasons why we are also having this conversation, is to let everybody and show people that hoodoo is for the culture, by the culture. Okay. And that means that it is in our history. And like I said, a lot of us don't even recognize these practices. I think like in one of my earlier videos, I believe it was like a Bible study, where I mentioned, superstitions or like just little practices that our elders had, especially like if you had maybe a grandma or a grandpa or somebody that threw salt over their shoulder before they cook. That's a superstitious practice. Some hoodoo practitioners do that because salt can remove spirits, so they would throw salt over their shoulders to as a form of protection, as a form of cleansing, before they went in there and cooked. So that's also something to think about. Okay. And I also just want to show everybody how practical it is. I literally think that our ancestors were geniuses. Like it's kind of like the genius of the slave, the genius of the Black person, that we are literally we have excellence, and we have geniuses in our bloodline. We have it in our blood. It's in our DNA. And I just really, one of the reasons why I really love the practice of hoodoo or of root work, one of the reasons why I just adore it, is because I love the fact that they were able to literally use what they had and just create change, heal, live well. If any of you ever pay attention to me, like you'll literally hear me reference, my grandma quite a bit. She taught me how to make at a very young age, because like she grew up in the South. But she taught me at a very young age how to like make dolls for yourself, right? Which is something that we do in my practices in Haitian Vodou, and also as a hoodoo priestess. We make spirit dolls to this day. She didn't necessarily use it for that purpose. Like she literally had to use what she had to create things, but still, she would make dolls out of like a salt shaker and twine and some knickknacks and things like that she found around the house. So that's one of the reasons why I just like really love it. I have a great respect for this practice as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up Black-Eyed Peas. I know a lot of us eat Black-Eyed Peas to bring in the new year. I know that there's somebody here watching this video who has plans to eat Black-Eyed Peas and does eat them every year. Okay, I did growing up. A lot of people don't understand that this tradition runs deep in our community. If you ever see people, well, I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot of people tomorrow on social media posting their Black-Eyed Peas, but this is one of the reasons why I say our ancestors were genius. This is a very famous and very common hoodoo practice. Black-eyed peas are associated with luck and prosperity. even though some of my family members say they're not. Yeah, every single year. A lot of my family members won't say that they're hoodoo practitioners, but I'm like, why are you eating the Black-Eyed Peas? For luck. It's just it's in our culture to start the New Year's off with Black-Eyed Peas. And I think that this was really great because it was like something, they made a whole tradition out of whatever was really easy for them to get their hands on. Plus, they're fire. They're fire. They're really, really, really good. Yeah. See, a lot of you are saying that you do it every single year. Yeah, this is a practice of our ancestors. This goes back. I put here that this superstition has its deep ties to the South. I don't know about y'all, but my family is from the dirty, dirty, like the dirty, dirty South. So there's a lot of Southern traditions. Oh, okay, I like that. Your family would put a dime in it. Yep. I love that. That's a really dope idea. I haven't heard of that. Let me see. Blackey Peas. Yeah. Okay. I love that. You eat it during hard times. Yeah. And so would our ancestors too, because for them it is associated with luck and prosperity. hmm I love that. That's a really good idea. And oftentimes, and like I think I mentioned this in like when I in my video I was talking about like protecting the home. But another tradition during this time of the year is to do like the evil eye by your door. As we're changing seasons, as the year is coming to an end, to catch that negative energy right at the door. Um, so like I said, our ancestors were geniuses. I literally love how they were able to make something out of nothing. And that's one of the reasons why I had such a great respect for my grandma and my great great grandma, because they were just like extremely intuitive, extremely smart. The ancestors were just bomb. They had just this knowing that you just can't explain. They were truly led by spirit on that. I'm talking about collard greens. My grandma called them collard greens. Does anybody else say collard greens? Because like I said, my family is from the dirty, dirty. So collard greens is also something that you're going to be seeing everybody eating right about now. Not only because they're delicious, okay, they're fire, but they also hold, and this is also, I'm going to bring it back up again because I put it on this slide too. This is also one of the reasons why our ancestors were geniuses, right? They were so smart. They knew that green was associated with prosperity. And then the fact that this is a plant, this is something that grows. That's one of the reasons why seeds are commonly used in prosperity work, because seeds grow things into other things. And the ancestors already knew this. So this is one of the reasons why this is one of a really popular hoodoo ritual. Some people will say that, it resembles folded paper money, symbolizing wealth and prosperity. Yes, that is true. That is that is true. But we already know that we have a couple correspondences. Yeah, still, but still, yeah, I love that. I'm happy that somebody brought that up too, because collard greens is not obviously like the only kind, but you will typically see black people eating greens, period, on New Year's. Collard greens, turnip. I'm a big fan of spinach. I like spinach a lot. So in my family, we will also eat spinach too. And then here's a tradition or a ritual, but it's not even a ritual because this is something that I do. If you follow me, or if you even have consultations with me, I know some people might be tired of me preaching, but I am so big on prayer. Baby, I am so big on prayer. I tell everybody to pray. I tell people what to put in their prayers, to ask their ancestors for, because it's like, that's also another part of the genius of the ancestors, is because if you didn't have nothing else, you had your voice. You had the ability to pray. When you didn't have no candle, when you didn't have anything else around you, you had the ability of your voice. You had that air element. And that is one of the most powerful tools that we have. We understand that in our practices, especially Haitian Vodou, is that your tongue is blessed, your words are blessed. And you will hear me say that a lot, that life and death lies in the power of the tongue. So even you going in the kitchen and as you're cooking these things, much like my ancestors did, and you're praying over these things and you're sowing your intentions into these foods, that's making it even more powerful. Like you're adding more ashe to it as you're praying. So you'll like, yeah, I think I told somebody like yesterday, I was like, well, you know, you're gonna have to pray too, because the prayer I told, yeah, I guess I'm just me, but you know, the prayers of the righteous availeth much, and prayer changes things. And that's just what it is. So praying while you're cooking during these times, cooking these dishes, or just walking through your house and praying during this time of year is very effective and very powerful as well. And I just put cornbread on here. Look, just because, because like, why are you eating black-eyed peas? Why are you eating black-eyed peas and greens without cornbread? Like, why? So I put cornbread on here because it's delicious. And it's a tradition in my family and in our culture to eat cornbread with the black-eyed peas and the greens. No specific reason that I know of as to why we eat the cornbread, but you know, it's just a part of the culture. And like I said, hoodoo is for the culture and by the culture. Mm-hmm. That's funny. She said, and I've been told all my life that I have an old soul, and I kind of do in a sense, because I'm absolutely one of those people that's going to say, "Did you pray about it?" I don't want to turn this into a sermon about prayer because I know how it is, right? Sometimes you feel like you can't pray, or you don't feel like it, or sometimes you don't have the words to say, but prayer is key. Prayer is key in all of our spiritual practices. Like I tell people, and I think that is, like I said, it's really great around the holiday seasons. Not that our ancestors aren't always with us, like their blood literally runs through our veins. Our spirits are always with us, but that this time of year during the holiday seasons, births of children, even at times of death, graduations, parties are excellent times to talk to, honor, and pray to your ancestors, because they are definitely listening during these times. So I literally take these times very seriously. So you already know what I'm going to say next is, and once again, this was also the genius of the ancestors. Okay. And when I say that, it's because they just knew that when you clean up, you feel better, you think better, all that. You feel lighter. Don't you feel good after you get done cleaning up, and then you go light your candle and your incense after that, and you can just like relax? That is literally a science. I put also here down that is very similar to feng shui, but see, our ancestors were so in tune with spirit in our practices that they already knew that. They know that physically cleaning up can lift physical burdens off of your shoulder. And as you know me, I have that Christian, I have that church background in general. Like, let me not just say Christian, but I have that church background. And in my upbringing, they would teach you that demons, you guys, demons, they would teach you that like demons or negative spirits would like hide behind clutter. And as I'm an adult now, and as I practice, I actually see that, yeah, that was a little far-fetched with the demons and stuff, but they weren't too far off about how important it is to keep a clean space. I know some of you have heard me say that when my house is clean or when my space is clean, I think better. I'm able to get more done because I know where everything is. And moment of transparency, and you can ask anybody in my family. I used to think that my grandma was crazy. I used to think that she was crazy when it came to cleaning up. Like, she was so strict. Um, my great grandma almost lived to be 100. She was almost 100 years old, and up until the day she passed, her house was spotless. And it used to drive me so crazy about like how picky they were with their spaces. But genius. I see how important it is. Now, granted, not as elaborate as those who have come before me, but they were literal geniuses. There was a method to the madness, if I will say. You already know on Saturdays when you wake up and you got that loud gospel music in the house, smell like bleach. Yeah, I feel like you know what time it is. That means it's definitely time to clean up. But that that is very accurate. Especially as a hoodoo priestess. As a voodoo priestess, your stuff has to be clean. You have to physically clean before you spiritually clean. Something that you heard me say before: why would you want to even conjure or work with spirits in like a dirty place? Sometimes filth is low vibrational, and that's you want to be able to attract your agungun. You want to attract your high vibrational ancestors to work with you and to guide you. And how can you do that if you don't clean up? It's just a very good practice to do. And then just out of respect, we already know that we're wanting to keep like our ancestral altars clean and everything because we love them. Those are our family. That's the place where we honor our people at. And as you know, the spirits that walk with us, they don't have to do anything. Okay, they don't have to do anything for you, but they do. So it's very important to clean up. For me, I am going to say, like, so for me, with this, I'm going to make this, it's always been a ritual, but I like to make it a ritual as far as like cleaning up your house. Once I hit that deep clean, I'm going to go through and do my spiritual work and everything. And then this is also a really good time to fortify and protect the home. Absolutely. Of course, we doing our routine protection work, but this is also a really good time for once you hit the house, you clean it, you do your deep clean, you start your spiritual workings and everything. Go ahead and do some protection work as well. Go ahead and lock down the fort with whatever you're wanting to do as well. Okay. Also, this is a good time to rearrange the furniture. I love every once in a while, sometimes, I'll pop up and y'all might not even recognize me. I love to switch things up. Like, I love to reinvent myself. I love to move things around occasionally. It makes me feel better. It gives me more peace. Yes, sweeping. Yep, that's also a common practice. I know I do. Sweep from the back of the house to the front. Also, another, this is just a hoodoo fun fact. I know for me personally, every time I move environments or I switch homes, I don't keep the same broom. I throw the broom away. My husband was like super confused about that, but I was like, no. But he loves it. Now he's like, oh yeah. He's like, no. My sister tried to bring her broom over to our house, and he was like, no. He was like, no, we don't do that. Yeah. So I believe in having my own broom. Hell, enchant the damn broom with your intention. Shit, do some work on the broom, okay? Just everything, make everything intentional, okay? As you're sweeping, I'm so in prosperity. Some people, even while they're sweeping, after they clean, they sweep with cinnamon, and we all know that cinnamon is like protection. Cinnamon is a quickening agent. Cinnamon can attract money. Cinnamon can attract prosperity. Okay, cinnamon can do multiple things. So that's often sometimes too why you see the cinnamon brooms. People hit the house with the cinnamon broom as well. So all of that, all of that is really great to do around this time. Like, I can't tell you enough. Just some things you don't even have to light candles. You don't actually have to do spiritual work for it sometimes, right? It just comes down to thinking, what can I use? What do I have around me? And make your stuff work with that, okay? So, as I said, yep, it's similar to feng shui. In Asian cultures, they believe, and I believe as well, that it uses energy forces to harmonize individuals with their surrounding environment, which is kind of, it's still different, but it's kind of the same thing that we do with hoodoo. I love to just, like I said, switch things around so that we could get a different or a better energy flow. If you haven't done that, if you're not somebody who moves your furniture around at least once a year or every 6 months or something like that, because I understand that's a lot of work, right? Especially if you're like me. But if you're not someone, I challenge you to do. I challenge you to try it and see how you just feel. Just see how you feel. Pay attention to how you're feeling, and then make note of that. Okay. Also, something that people also do at the end of the year is they wash all of their clothes, like all of them. For me, I'm not doing that, uh, but I will put a dab of Florida water in my clothes. But it is very common for, sometimes people don't, it's like a superstitious thing sometimes where people just don't wash their clothes up until New Year's, and they wash all of them. Not, I don't necessarily know if they do it all year, but like for a week leading up to it or something. Yeah. That's something that people do. For me, my clothes stay washed routinely. I wash my clothes routinely, so I really don't have that many to do, but I will be washing and cleansing all of the ones that I do have. And then you can also, like I said, put some Florida water in there. And see, that's another one too. We don't wash clothes on New Year's Day. There you go. I think I heard someone say that before, that they don't do it. For me, uh, I get I'm getting, especially for me, I'm getting all of my things done before New Year's. And then on New Year's, I probably will be eating, like, black eyed peas and greens and the cornbread, of course, but that's about it. But yeah, I have heard, I can't remember who it was, but I think one of my priestess friends says that she doesn't wash clothes on New Year's Day either. That's definitely another one as well. So, yeah, just cleaning physically and then cleaning spiritually. And that, just like I said, that's going through your house afterwards, after you get done doing the physical clean. And then just cleansing the energy spiritually with whatever you want, whether that's Florida water. If you have some sprays that you've created, that would be a good idea. Um, I love Palo Santo. This is my favorite. It smells just, it just smells so good. Okay, I love it absolutely. And then I like frankincense a lot too. Um, oh, okay. So y'all are coming with the hoodoo facts today. I love that. Yeah, I haven't heard of that one. You'll watch someone. I'm telling you, it's like there's so many. There's so many, you guys. Like, when I say my family is from the South, my maternal side, we are from Louisiana. My paternal side, we are from Alabama, Arkansas. So they have all kinds of like traditions and everything that you could do as well. Okay. And then for me, my tip. I am a huge vision boarder. Visualization is just, if I can, look, I'm about to sound like a Hallmark card, but if I can see it, then I can achieve it. The inner reflects the outer. Stuff starts in the mind before it manifests in the physical, for me. And I think that's one of the rules of the universe. Once it starts in the mind, then it comes out, right? The greatest ideas in the world, the greatest concepts, these buildings, even this chair that I'm sitting in was in somebody's mind at some point before it was a physical thing. So for me, I will preach y'all under the bleachers about creating vision boards and setting some goals. Okay. This is something I'm extremely passionate about. I feel like everybody needs to have one. Um, even outside of like you having one, you need to look at it, use it, utilize it, set affirmations, because we have our air element, which is our words and everything. And it's very important to use like our thoughts as well, right? um, to help us manifest what we're trying to create. And for me, I'm someone who is extremely productive when I have a plan. When I have a plan and when I have goals, that's when y'all see me all the time. That's when you see me pushing out content. That's when I'm the most successful, is when I have goals or when I have things written down. Um, it just depends on what works for you. If you're somebody, you don't have to write things down, and you can just I don't know, improv all the time, which is great, because sometimes I do that. Sometimes, I just, I go with spirit. But also, one of the good things about me and my ancestors is they always want me to have a plan. I'm one of those people who, without a plan, you plan to fail. So for me, I try my very best. We know how life is, but I try to have goals, and I try to set realistic times. And this isn't even necessarily hoodoo, but there's a magic behind it as well. Um, it all goes together. But like I said, I'm one of those people who's really big on visualizing, so that it materializes in my life as well. So I would highly recommend that you all create one. Be very intentional when you create your vision board. Use your color correspondences. Use green for money, for growth. Use gold. Use your silvers. Use yellow for confidence. Use pink for love, or if you're trying to get pregnant. You know what I mean? Use your red color if you want to work on your root chakra. Use orange. Orange is also a good color for prosperity too. So think about those things as well. Orange is also really good for creativity as well. Orange is good for creativity. Yellow is as well. But just think about those types of things whenever you're creating your vision board. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I would say make one every year. I do. I make these every year. And I tend to keep my vision boards as well, just to kind of see how far I've come, or just to see the things that have manifested or changed in my life. My most recent, this is how well, there's other things at play too, because there's my ancestors and the other spirits that walk with me, God, but with my last vision board that I created, I want to say at this point I have about 85% of what I put on there has come to pass in just this year. Um, Definitely exceeded a lot of expectations that I had, but that was definitely through the work. Now, I know that this is primarily, I'm talking about hoodoo rituals that you can do for the new year, but like I said, make everything a ritual. Okay. I believe I added that on here at the end too. Yeah, I did. Y'all see that food? Yes. I love seafood, by the way. But make everything a ritual. Like I said, pray over the damn broom, sow your intentions to it. Be like those old people that went through the house and prayed for their families and prayed for their children. If you were like me, you always had oil on your forehead. If you have babies, kids, if you want them to be protected, pray for their protection, pray for their well-being. Physically lay your hands on them and ask the ancestors and God, or whoever it is that you're praying to, for protection. Be very intentional about everything you do, even if oh, also something, I can't believe I didn't put this in here, but one thing that I like to do is so I enchant my coffee when I drink coffee, right? I sow whatever intentions it is into the coffee itself. But you can also do this with water. You can write your affirmations, pray over your water, Water, first of all, is programmable. Water is a living thing. This is also something that has been backed by science. The water will actually respond or freeze differently based off of how you talk to it. It's a fun fact. Yes. I believe the guy's name who discovered like the crystallization and how it reacts, I think his name is Dr. Emoto. If you want to Google him, his research is pretty interesting as far as like, how water reacts when you speak to it and how the crystal structure of it changes. But anyways, nonetheless, the Hoodoo way, speak to your water. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. But speak to your water. Our ancestors was also geniuses because they was always laying their hands on something and someone. Because you laying your hands on it, you're leaving your power and your ashe onto these things. So imagine what that is when you really focus, your intentions on it. When I say water as well, as far as like, enchanting your water, also make a prosperity water or something, remember that fruits and vegetables also have metaphysical properties too. One thing that I'm doing, I think for my in my chakra mentorship program that I have with my godmother, I'm going to be having the girls make a sacral water, a water to help heal and balance out their sacral chakra. We know that the sacral chakra is ruled by water anyways. How dope would that be to make a sacral water? So just thinking about small ways like that to make every day intentional and to sow your intentions out there is only gonna help draw those things in that we're asking for and that we're working for. Okay. Also, feed your people. Feed your people. Obviously, we should be feeding them, but on holidays or when these different times that come up during the year that meant something of significance to the ancestors, go ahead and feed them as well. Make them a plate. Give them a feast. I know there's times throughout the year when my husband and I we go all in. And just, show them that we honor, remember, and we respect their presence. And more than anything, because people are always, and I'm just giving you, all this general information and sharing some of the things that I have done. But more than anything, I want you to, yes, cast out those demons. You hear me? But more than anything, I want to challenge everybody is to create your own traditions. Just because the ones that our ancestors did were the ones that worked for them, I challenge you to create your own. Be as creative as you would like. Create these things with your children and with your own family members, and they'll be just as powerful as well. Okay. And to close things off tonight, I want to dedicate this message to Bishop Charles Mason. He is the founder of the Kojic Church, Church of God in Christ. And he was also a really well-known root worker or conjurer as well. So my goal of just adding that at the end there is just so to remember to be reflective as we go into the new year. Always give thanks and gratefulness. Try to be as grateful as possible for the things that we have. I'm about to take y'all back to church for real, but count your blessings, name them one by one. And by that, I mean, right now would be a great time to create a gratitude list and to think about all the things that we are grateful for. Because even if we don't have everything that we want right now, we still have a lot to be grateful for. And just being grateful during every day, honestly, but just being grateful can really help us attract what it is that we're wanting. My grandma used to say, be grateful with what you have. Well, she used to say, be grateful with what you got until you get some more. And she used to say, take care of what you got until you get some more. And so I just think that it's those really powerful, fundamental hoodoo practices that make our culture so great. Remember, Hunsi LaBelle Venus said it, hoodoo is for the culture, by the culture. Those my ancestors, though. Somebody said, when is my next video? Girl. I don't don't know. Honestly, I haven't been on here very much during the month of December because like literally my availability for December is horrible. I am overbooked and just been really, 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 really busy. But as soon as my schedule lightens back up, I will definitely be on here. Again, I'm for sure gonna have another video next week. Next week, I'll be back at it, and you can expect to see me at least twice a week on here. Okay. But I thank you all so much for coming. As always, I hope these messages resonated with you. I hope that you use some of these information, some of these informative tips that I dropped tonight, or you use this information in your practices to make things work better for you. I hope that this helps you be more intentional about things and be more intentional going into the new year. Of course, if you all want to leave a love donation, you can. My Cash App and my PayPal are running across the screen. I still, like I said, I have very limited availability right now, but get on my calendar, get some consultations. Let's talk. Let's come up with some New Year rituals that are specific for you. We can also talk about, I also have consultations available for shadow work, or if you just, you need some clarity about things. I'm definitely really great with shadow work. I still also have a sale going on. It's going on all the way through the first of the year on all of my services. So that means right now consultations, all of them are on sale. This means that readings are on sale as well. I also have the Ancestral Life Path reading that is on sale right now at the Voodoo Institute too. So I will go ahead and drop my link. You know what? I'm gonna drop my link tree. I'm just gonna drop my link tree here in the comments for you all. So if you all want to connect with me on other social medias, or if you do want to get on my calendar for something, please view the link, and it has my link to the Voodoo Institute there. Okay. Well, all you all, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. Be blessed. Don't live life in distress. I'll see y'all later.